Day 298 Maccabean Revolt, 2 Maccabees 1, Sirach 40-41, Proverbs 24 verses 1-7. Let's begin. 2 Maccabees 1. To the brothers, the Jews, who are throughout Egypt, the brothers, the Jews, who are in Jerusalem and in the region of Judea, send greetings and good peace. May God be gracious to you, and may He remember His covenant, which was spoken to Abraham, and Isaac, and Jacob, His faithful servants. And may He give all of you the heart to worship Him, and to do His will, with a great heart and a willing soul. May He throw open your heart with His law and with His precepts, and may He create peace. May He heed your prayers and be reconciled to you, and may He not forsake you in the evil time. And now, in this place, we are praying for you. When Demetrius reigned, in the 169th year, we Jews wrote to you during the tribulation and assaults which overcame us in those years, from the time that Jason withdrew from the Holy Land and from the kingdom. They burnt the gate, and they shed innocent blood. And we prayed to the Lord and were heard, and we brought forth sacrifices and fine wheat flour, and we kindled the lamps and set forth the loaves. And now, celebrate the days of shelters in the month of Kislev. In the 188th year, from the people who are at Jerusalem and in Judea, and from the Senate and Judas, to Aristobulus, the magistrate of King Ptolemy, who is of the ancestry of anointed priests, and to those Jews who are in Egypt, greetings and good health. Having been freed by God from great peril, we give thanks to Him greatly, inasmuch as we have been struggling against so great a king. For He caused those who fought against us and against the holy city to burst forth from Persia. For when the commander himself was in Persia, and with him an immense army, he fell in the temple of Nanea, having been deceived by the council of the priests of Nanea. For Antiochus also came to the place with his friends, as if to live with her, and so that he would receive much money in the name of a dowry. And when the priests of Nanea had made the proposal, and he had entered with a few men into the vestibule of the shrine, they closed the temple. After Antiochus had entered, and throwing open a hidden entrance to the temple, they cast stones, and they struck the leader and those who were with him. And, having severed their limbs and cut off their heads, they threw them outside. Blessed be God through all things, who has delivered up the impious. Therefore, establishing the purification of the temple on the 25th day of the month of Kislev, we considered it necessary to signify this to you, so that you, likewise, may keep the day of shelters, and the day of the fire that was given when Nehemiah offered sacrifice, after the temple and the altar had been built. For when our fathers were led into Persia, the priests, who at that time were worshippers of God, secretly took the fire from the altar, and they kept it hidden in a valley, where there was a deep and dry pit, and they kept it safe in that place, in such a way that the place would be unknown to all. But when many years had passed, and it pleased God that Nehemiah should be sent by the king of Persia, he sent some of the posterity of those priests who had hidden it to seek the fire. And just as they told us, they did not find fire, but only deep water. Then he ordered them to draw it up, and to carry it to him. And the priest, Nehemiah, ordered the sacrifices, which had been set out, to be sprinkled with the same water, both the wood and those things that were placed on it. And when this was done, and the time came when the sun shined brightly, which before was in a cloud, there was kindled a great fire, so much so that all were filled with wonder. But all the priests were reciting prayer, while the sacrifice was being consumed, with Jonathan beginning and the rest answering. And the prayer of Nehemiah was held in this way: O Lord God, Creator of all, terrible and strong, just and merciful, you alone are the good King. You alone are excellent, you alone are just, and all-powerful, and eternal, who frees Israel from all evil, who created the chosen fathers and sanctified them. Receive the sacrifice on behalf of all of your people Israel, and preserve and sanctify your portion. Gather together our dispersion, free those who are in servitude to the Gentiles, and respect those who are despised and abhorred, so that the Gentiles may know that you are our God. Afflict those who, in their arrogance, are oppressing us and treating us abusively. Establish your people in your holy place, just as Moses said. And so the priests sang hymns until the sacrifice had been consumed. But when the sacrifice had been consumed, Nehemiah ordered the remainder of the water to be poured upon the great stones. When this had been done, a flame was kindled from them, but it was consumed by the light that shined brightly from the altar. In truth, when this thing became known, it was reported to the king of Persia that in the place where the fire had been hidden by those priests who had been led away, water appeared, by which Nehemiah, and those who were with him, purified the sacrifices. But the king, considering and examining the matter diligently, made a temple for it, so that he might study what had happened. And when he had studied it, he gave the priests many goods and presents, of one kind or another, and using his own hands, he distributed these. And Nehemiah called this place Nether, which is interpreted as purification. But with many it is called Nephi. Sirach 40:41. A great occupation was created for all men, and a heavy yoke is upon the sons of Adam, from the day of their departure from their mother's womb, even until the day of their burial into the mother of all. Their thoughts, and the fears of their heart, their imagined expectations, and the day of their end. From him who sits upon a glorious throne, even to him who is humbled in earth and ashes. From him who wears hyacinth and bears a crown, even to him who is covered with rough linen, wrath, envy, tumult, restlessness, and the fear of death, continual anger and contention. And in the time of rest upon his bed, the sleep of the night changes his knowledge. There is little or no rest, and sleep is taken from him, as if on a day of keeping watch. He is disturbed by a vision of his heart, as if he had escaped in a day of warfare. In the time of his salvation, he rose up and wondered that there was no fear. This is so with all flesh, from man even to cattle, but upon sinners it is 7 times as great. Add to this, death, bloodshed, contention, and the spear, oppression, famine, and affliction, and scourges. All these things have been created because of iniquity, and it is due to iniquity that the great flood was made. All things that are of the earth shall return to the earth, and all waters shall return to the sea. All bribery and iniquity will be wiped away, but faith shall stand forever. The substance of the unjust will dry up like a river, and will pass away with a noise like loud thunder in a rainstorm. When he opens his hands, he will rejoice. So will transgressors pass away at the consummation. The descendants of the impious will not produce many branches, for they may be compared to dirty roots at the edge of a rock. The weeds, which grow above every water and beside the banks of the river, will be uprooted before all the grass. Grace is like a paradise of blessings, and mercy continues for eternity. The life of a worker, when content with what is sufficient, will become sweet, and in it you will find a treasure. Sons, and the building of a city, will establish a name, but an immaculate wife will be ranked above these things. Wine and music rejoice the heart, but the love of wisdom is above them both. The flute and the psaltery make a sweet melody, but a pleasant word is above them both. Your eye desires elegance and beauty, but verdant fields are above these things. A friend and a companion meet one another in time, but above them both is a wife with her husband. Brothers are a help in time of tribulation, but mercy will liberate, more so than they will. Gold and silver provide a firm position for the feet, but well-spoken counsel is above them both. Ability and strength lift up the heart, but the fear of the Lord is above these things. There is no loss in the fear of the Lord, and it has no need to ask for assistance. The fear of the Lord is like a paradise of blessings, and they have covered it above all glory. Son, in your lifetime you should not be indigent, for it is better to die than to be destitute. The life of him who looks to another man's table should not be thought of as a way of life, for he feeds his life with another man's food. But a disciplined and well-taught man will take care of himself. Scarcity will seem sweet to the mouth of the imprudent, but a fire will burn in his belly. O death, how bitter is the memory of you, to a man who has peace in his substance. To a quiet man, and to him whose ways are directed properly in all things, and who still has the strength to take nourishment. O death, your judgment is good to the indigent man, and to him whose strength has diminished. Who is failing due to old age, and who is anxious about all things, and to the unbelieving man who has lost patience. Do not choose to dread the judgment of death. Remember the things that occurred before you, and the things that will occur after you. This judgment is from the Lord upon all flesh. And what will happen to you is well pleasing to the Most High, whether in 10, or 100, or 1,000 years. For death is no indictment of life. The sons of sinners, and those who pass their time in the manner of the houses of the impious, become sons of abominations. The inheritance of the sons of sinners will perish, and continual disgrace will be with their offspring. The sons of an impious father will complain, for they are in disgrace because of him. Woe to you, impious men, who have abandoned the law of the Most High Lord. And when you are born, you will be born into a curse, and when you die, your portion will be in a curse. All things that are from the earth shall return to the earth. Similarly, the impious will proceed from a curse unto perdition. The grieving of men is in their body, but the name of the impious will be wiped away. Have concern for your good name. For this will continue with you, more so than 1,000 precious and great treasures. A good life has its number of days, but a good name will continue forever. Sons, practice discipline peacefully. For what use is there in either concealed wisdom, or undiscovered treasure? Better is the man who hides his foolishness than the man who hides his wisdom. Yet truly, have respect for these things which proceed from my mouth. For it is not good to observe every reverence. And all things do not please all persons in their beliefs. Have shame of these things, of fornication before father and mother, and of a lie before the first leader and the powerful. Of a crime before a ruler or a judge, of iniquity before a congregation or a people. Of injustice before a companion or a friend, and of the place in which you live. Of theft, and of the truth before God, and of the covenant, of reclining to eat bread, and of deceitfulness in giving or receiving. Of silence before those who greet you, of looking upon a woman of fornication, and of averting your face from a relative. You should not avert your face from your neighbor, nor should you take away a portion and not restore it. You should not stare at another man's wife, and nor pursue his handmaid, nor approach her bed. Avoid reproachful speeches before friends, and when you give, you should not place blame. Proverbs 24 verses 1 through 7. Do not imitate evil men, nor desire to be among them. For their mind meditates on robberies, and their lips speak deceptions. By wisdom shall a house be built, and by prudence shall it be strengthened. By doctrine, the storerooms shall be filled with every substance that is precious and most beautiful. A wise man is strong, and a well-taught man is robust and valiant. For war is undertaken in an orderly manner, and safety shall be where there are many counsels. Wisdom is beyond the foolish, at the gate he will not open his mouth.